It is time, ladies and gents. It is time. Turn my audio up. It is time, boys and girls. How we've all waited to come back to this specific game. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers from the official game. Game files for Doki Literature Club required to play this game and can be downloaded for HTTPC or that stuff. Oh my. Okay, what am I doing? Yo, what's up, everyone? Hey, Psyche, no. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. It's been a couple of days. I've been stretching my feet, working, getting stuff for this new album to come out. Bro, it's so cool. Oh my. Oh my. The album is almost finished. I should be finished within the next month or two. In the next month for sure, actually. Just about just promoting and just recording the songs itself. Curly. My mind, an endless cascade of darkness, and yet somehow I thought I'd find solace in my dreams. I felt fortunate, really. Not many women had the privilege to work, and even less so in the law enforcement field. Assistant investigator. That's the title I like to be addressed as. Although not many, if any, called me that. But I wouldn't let that bring me down. To me, it was enough to be Miss Monica right-hand gal. Sure, I was mainly there to type down the reports on her job. And oh boy, I sure like typing them. But hopefully, I might eventually follow in her footsteps into the action and learn the ropes. Almost done. And done. Oh my. Sayori? Another report perfectly crafted and described a multiple homicide. Oh my. What would be the use of those twisted criminals, am I right, miss? I know, that's so adorable. I feel like I'm in some like older like detective show. I try to line the mood a bit and have a chat with Miss Monica. Not that it was tense. Heck, it was even the turntable playing some tunes from time to time. But it didn't hurt to try to be on her good side. Indeed, Sayori. Even though I wish crime scenes were a little cleaner for a change, bloodstains are always a bitch to get rid of. Oh my. Foul-mouthed as always, but dare I try to correct her manners. Maybe I was just too naive, thinking on manners when I haven't even seen the harsh reality of this perfection yet. My, Monica's sprite is actually kind of impressive. Not kind of, like really impressive. Oh my goodness. But could you blame me? My only experience with crime scenes and cases were before from the description she'd give me. I'd never seen a real corpse. Perhaps I needed see some of that stuff, but I've had my hands full with some gruesome texts. I wonder what all the crime scenes look like, with cops running around and all. Is it like Borges' book? Drama, mystery, action? Oh, Sayori, you read too much fiction. You should really stop trying to escape reality with fairy tales. Well, reality isn't very kind to us, wouldn't you say, miss? Look, the job really isn't all that fantastic and thrilling. Most of the time we investigate some old man who smuggled in a bit too much spirit or some blind pig in the heart of the city. I know, but it's better than staying in the office typing reports. Ah, well, perhaps. She was right though. I did have a knack for reading fiction, although I wouldn't call that fairy tales. I really like the idea that there are good and bad guys, and the good guys can solve impossible mysteries using only their wits and obscure clues, shutting down any hope of any dastardly villain. Oh, how many times I've written to Curly about this since I got the job. Oh shit. I'm in this bitch? Interesting. We would always sneak out the library, rummaging through the shelves in the fiction corner in the expensive halls. When I got hired by Miss Monica, we would chuckle about how I seemed to be living all those cops and capers would read. He'd always say that I'd outgrow him one day and became a big shot private investigator and leave him in the dust. He had a very peculiar idea about himself. Said he wasn't gonna amount to much, and he liked it that way. Eventually I convinced him that I would never outgrow him, and we promised we'd always write to each other and stay in contact. Which reminds me. Miss Monica? Yes? Did I get any correspondence by any chance? I've been waiting to get some responses to my letters. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to check. Would you look at that? It seems a new case to be beckoning. Picking up the blower, she rested her laurels on her crowded desk as if some social call. Always so relaxed in the face of these horrible crimes, like a man being thrown in the river is just another Tuesday for her. Oh my. So considerate and assertive that she's gained the respect of all the bulls she met. A looker like her, she makes the men all around her swoon, yet not dare to make a move. Alright, rookie, I think you can call me with this time. It's a simple case. Huh? That caught me by surprise. Sure was wondering how'd I see some action, but all of a sudden, I did my best to keep my excitement at bay. Heck yeah. I mean, yes sir, lady woman. Yes, it's definitely giving off like old detective like movies. I really fuck with this though. This is really cool. Ma'am, I failed. I'm glad you showed me your excitement, lass. But hurry up, we have no time to waste. The longer we take, the less we make. Aren't we paid by the hour? We're paid by every solve, so we better solve this quickly. Mouths to feed and all that. Right. Lightning fast, she grabbed her Borsalino and made her way out, barely giving me the time to keep up. Oh my! You hear the change in the music? Oh my, that's amazing. Hear it. Goodness. The city at night is another character. You expect it to be rather calm and relaxing, but when you look at the lonely faint lights illuminating the darkest alleys, your mind begins to race. I always stuck out to the avenues and busy streets, but I can't deny I've always had a fascination with wanting to know what lurks behind the facade. What mysteries could it be hiding? What darkness lurks in the loneliest corners? And now I found my opportunity to see just that. So what's the case, boss? Well, nothing particularly interesting. Something up in the slums near the industrial district. The music? Is it better? How about now? Yes? Cool? Alrighty. Oh wow. Game. Anyways. Apparently a body washed ashore of the riverbank, so the police wouldn't want to bother with the poor sod's finale. Do we have any clues on what happened? Clues? No, we're just gonna go ahead and take a look and write down notes on what we can see. Basic survey, nothing more. You think this might be a murder? Please. Our trucker echoed through the barren streets. What? A body washing up by the shore seems like a murder to me. And that's why you're the rookie here, little lass. We're the same age. I couldn't exactly agree with her training of thought though. But then again, maybe it was my eagerness to find something thrilling in the case. And well, we haven't even arrived at the scene yet. Swaying through the industrial blocks buildings, we found our way to the river. The bridge was wearing a spectacular light of seemed to be deteriorating streetlights. Monica's hat is really cool. She looks like a mafia boss. The full moon reflected on the body of water, its light shimmering across the ripples. Speaking of bodies, there, I see the floater bobbing just ahead. Oh my. Thank God we didn't have to get wet trying to find the sack of meat. Go ahead, take your field report. Take your field, report back to me what you see. Seriously, may I? Yeah, knock yourself out. As she told me so, she pulled out a gasper, moving it up to her lips and lighting it. As she saw me standing around waiting to be dismissed, she waved me to go, almost like swatting away a fly. Without wasting any time, I jumped over the railing onto the river bank. I approached the swollen body. Oh my! A small girl, very petite. If I were anyone else, I would have almost mistaken her for a child. Is this like Natsuki? Why? Is this Natsuki? She was dressed in the tattered rags and her body frail and stingy. I wasn't used to the look of people who in the slums, but her appearance definitely gave away the fact that she's from around here. It had no odor, thankfully. She must have been relatively new then. Before I could roll onto her back, I noticed her arms were twisted around, bones shattered. The neck was limp, the face battered. It wasn't really all that bloated, so maybe it had been the floating for long. I'm pretty sure this was a violent attack, miss. Maybe the attacker was too far and killed her and wanted to get rid of the evidence and panicked. Yeah, definitely giving murder vibes. Just threw it in the riverbank so no one would find it. Yeah, that's not very convincing. She told me as she lit another cig. After a long puff and blowing smoke, I can definitely help you with that sound effect. If I could find it. Dang. Where is it? Wow, where you put it at? Oh wait. Here it is. Sawyer has more sense. That is true. After a long puff and blow, she came back at me. Smoke? She asked while holding up the packet of cigarettes to my face as I was kneeling down to the body. Oh my. I can smell the smoke from here. Jesus. Not in the face, Monica, please. Alright. Not one of those coffin nails. Suit yourself. Look, Sayuri, what I see here is a suicide victim. See that bridge? It's not uncommon to see folks jumping off of it. Well, what about the bruises and broken bones? Simple. It's been floating for a while now. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it didn't have any damage. The lack of odor showed that she'd been recently offed. Oh my. It's been in the water bloating. Odor does not build up, but in the insides. Furthermore, bruises prove nothing anyway. Look a little closer, you'll see a faint yellowish discoloration. That dully indicates that bruising happened long before. Oh, I see. It made sense, but there's a little detail in the logic that kept poking at my mind. Old bruises? That many? But that would indicate it was the first time she got attacked. Listen, that actually means you got a suicide motive. She got hit by some bird, whether it be a family member or other such things. Hated her life, jumped off a bridge. Congratulations, case closed. But that means their case closed. Let's go back to the office and write a report. Are you sure? Not many cases are this simple, so don't get a gift horse in the mouth. Alright, lassie? So don't look a gift horse in the mouth? I don't know if I'm reading this wrong or not, but we're gonna move on. Just settle in and get whatever dough we can. Alright. Come on, chop chop. She took the lead and I followed, as expected with my assistant position, but still. I wasn't pleased with everything went down. My every suggestion was shut down because she knew better. I wouldn't call it anger, but heavy disappointment is what it felt like. Even how we handled the body. Hey miss, what's going on with the body now? Huh? Oh, well technically that's the police work. This was a very low priority case, you know, so they just don't bother with a lot of the poor. Oh my. What is this? Font override, deja vu sans, text size scaling, line spacing scaling, self-voicing.
Self-voicing enabled. Self-voicing disabled.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. The options on the menu intend to improve accessibility. This may not work with all games. Some combination might be the game will be unplayable. It's not with the game or engine. For the best results when changing fonts, try to keep. I was just wanting to know what it was about. That's just wrong. Justice is for everyone. Alright, Lassie. Don't go around puking out what you read from this some novel. In the end, it's money that makes the world go round. A detective from a precinct would never come here for this kind of case. It's simply not worth their time. So they just let it rot over the riverbanks? I can't deny that's a possibility, but I like to think I drink the same water. Haha. Her laugh made me realize how she's able to shrug off any guilt she may have. Perhaps someday I'll be able to be as mentally strong. On the bright side, I did see my first corpse and barely reacted to the fact. It seems all that literary research wasn't a waste after all. Alright, Sayuri. I know you may still be excited, but I think I'm going to leave the report to you. It's been a long night, so maybe you'd want to leave it for tomorrow. Are you not coming, miss? Nah, I'm done for tonight. We'll meet again tomorrow evening. Sure thing. With a slight wave, she walked to her apartment, leaving me at the office doors. She would let me stay in the office so I could use it to sleep at night and avoiding renting. I was very grateful for that. Money wasn't easy to come by during these trying times. Even though I was about to collapse, I still had to write a letter for Curly. That's me. He'd want to hear all about these events for the day. In the morning, I can go to the post office and drop off the letter. So I began to write my report. I couldn't help but let out a small giggle. Dearest, today's correspondence is dated Friday 1st of April. The last message received was dated Wednesday the 27th of January. I formally inform you that I've seen my first corpse. Fortunately, I beat you to it. I would have been ashamed if one of our kin had passed away while I was away from home. Honestly, I thought it was going to be always as I imagined, an intricate case with millions of clues followed by bad guys to track down. But reality struck me a little hard today. Where am I? And apparently we don't get to investigate as much as the investigation jobs. The victim in this case was a small framed female whose corpse was found floating in the river. Now for my version of the story, I think she was murdered. She has her arms, bones shattered, neck twisted and around. The face was all covered in old bruises, and that just couldn't be an accident. Despite what I saw, I thought Miss Monica came to the conclusion that it was a suicide. Without further investigation, can you believe that? But like I said, in reality, it all came down to the time we investigated the money issues. We had other cases to her. This was an open and shut case. No fun allowed. I hope things are progressing more smoothly with you. I can't wait to hear from you again. I miss you so much. With love, Sayuri. Always thought it was cute how we would treat them like official reports. We even figured out a format. It kept the constant letters entertaining. I nearly folded the letter into 4 squares paper and enveloped it. Wait, isn't that illegal? She just texted some specifics in a letter, like you saw a corpse, dead body, and then the ideals of what caused it. For the public to know that before the case is like officially closed by the police, that may be illegal. Oh, but they're both detectives, so I guess technically not. Because he was more of a civilian. Yeah. I'm not a lawyer or anything. No, it's okay. No, you're right. No, I think it's because they're both detectives. That kind of played out, though. So I don't know if he's a private eye or anything like that, but they're able to disclose that information now. I neatly folded the letter into 4 squares, placing it into an envelope to send it the next morning. Let's see. My synchronized fingers on fire, writing down the report as fast as I could before Monica's arrival at the office. My darn laziness continued to chase me. Why, hello there, my coral lass. Working hard or hardly work? Yes. Well, you need to do it before I got here, you know. I'm an efficient worker, miss. I can see that. I just want to take a second to look in the background genuinely. Got a fan. Oh my. It's like a file, like a bunch of like files and books. It's an actual typewriter, which is actually cool. I wonder what this is drawn. Yeah, this is probably drawn, but it looks very realistic. So whoever drew this, they did absolutely awesome. Anyways. She entered the office and placed her hat on the coat hanger. I began shaking my hands a bit, from my wrists to my fingers that were screaming at me. I watched as she got to the turntable, elegantly picking up a record and slowly placing it on the platter of the record player. What are we playing today? Oh my. Her hands had gently reached for the needle and begun playing a smooth tune accompanied with what seemed to be another uneventful evening. Pardon me. Oh my, it's the cigarette smoke. Oh my. Not in the face, Monica. She returned to her seat and took out another one of her daily smokes. Want a snipe, Sayuri? I'd rather not. Suit yourself. Any word on the correspondence, Miss Monica? As if being asked to move a heavy boulder up a hill, Monica sighed loudly and deeply, making sure to remove the cigarette beforehand. I just got here, Sayuri. I didn't have the time to check. Well, if you're tired, miss, I could check for you. Don't you dare! Her sudden response sent a shiver down my spine, elevating my heartbeat. Needless to say, I was caught off guard. Even though she hasn't been the most gentlest, so I'd never seen Monica so aggressive before. It seems you've forgotten my personal mail is delivered here as well. I told you that before. I didn't get any for you, and that surely remains to be the case. Do not bring up going through my stuff again. Sorry, miss. I thought clearly not enough. So much being for being an investigator. Her words struck me deeply. I felt like a kid who didn't know how to behave, and that was like spoken to one as well. My gaze found itself guided to the floor. I'm sorry, Sayori. It's the stress. I shouldn't have reacted that way. Brought my head up again. It's alright, miss. I understand. Atta girl. No, that's not a good thing. Because that was kind of fucked up. I should. You owe me like. Go check the mail for me now. You got to do that for me now. I want to see if I got a letter from me. Hopefully we have a new case on our hands. That'll be a good opportunity to train you up, don't you think? With a smile and a quick wink, she turned to me and attended the call. What just had me confused? A sudden whiplash of emotions, as if Miss Monica has an entire other person residing in her. But if she was going to make another case, maybe it wasn't all that bad. And perhaps I could even prove myself. As she finished her talk, she took a moment and looked at me. Well, it seems like we got a hot one in our hands. Really, miss? Yes, come on, grab your coat. I'll brief you while we walk. I don't have a coat. Oh. Well, shake a leg. Without saying anything with the further notice, she grabbed her hat and took off, and I'm right behind her. Let's see this. My. Now this looks like some old Tokyo. This is beautiful. Look at the streets. I hope that train is going the other way. This time we walked for a while. The scenery was nothing like yesterday. We passed through the residential area with no showcase now more empty abandoned houses. We were heading toward the richest parts. I've been there only a couple times. First you see the houses get bigger, taller, further away from the house, and as you progress, until you eventually can't see the houses as they hide in the middle of acres upon acres of private lands. You find yourself following a seamlessly endless fence marking the edges of the divide of the riches and rags. Unfortunately, the middle class was evaporating into poverty, thus highlighting the difference even further. So here's the details provided by the initial police survey. high-class woman found dead inside her mansion's library. Apparently, the husband was a very successful businessman, major shareholder of a metallurgic company. He's been out of the apple for a while now, supposedly making subsidy deals with politicians. Oh, so this must be taking place in New York. Unless that's just a saying. Because in New York, it's called the Big Apple, so I just kind of put two and two together. So someone knew that the big fish was away and tried to get a piece of the riches? Beats me. I still need to see the scene, you know? Ah, right, of course. You need to really stop assuming things, Sayori. I can't help it. This could be the big one. Right. Again, I had my noggin racing thinking about what could have happened. There's no way this time was going to be a boring case without mystery. We arrived at the place greeted by an iron gate with sturdy brick pillars on each side. A couple of officers were waiting in this time around. Already the differences with yesterday's cases are showing. Pleasant night, fellas. Evening, dollface. Took your sweet time. Give me a break. I'm here to do my job. Hey, ooh, relax. Say, how about we hit the speakeasy after the mess? Maybe if it wasn't illegal, you chump. You're a cop. And? Forget it. So who's the muffin? The man swiped me from top to bottom with his gaze. It amazed me how Monica could keep her cool with all this. Goons as cops with so little morals, they may as well be mercenaries. Greetings, I'm an investigator's assistant. She's going to come along and take a look with me. She's coming after too? Keep dreaming. Anyways, tell me how you heard anything about besides the initial report. Perhaps. Maybe a hunter killer will light up my. Pally, you better keep your mouth shut if all you do to keep is yapping garbage like that. Oh my. She said, shut up, Nick. You won't talk like that, don't talk with me. Jesus, alrighty, lady, damn. I heard that the butter and egg man went dizzy with the dame. Yo, the slang they had back in the day is actually kind of crazy. I look, you want to know what this means. He said, I've heard that the butter and egg man went dizzy with the dame. Handmaid mentioned him and his woman giving huge arguments over the phone. Wait, that's probably talking about the case. Oh. My bad. Good boy. Finally something worthwhile out of your mouth. With a smirk on his face, the man tipped his cap and led us through. We walked across the paved road past a fountain and led us to this enormous wooden doors. This time we had something to work with, it seemed. Already we've heard some clues. That's exciting. As we approached the pompous entrance, the doors creaked open as the bullet let us in. Sayori, who's right overall? Oh yeah, that first case, I guarantee you that was probably a murder. Yeah, my head, there's gotta be a murder. I just felt like it needed to get more looked into at least to fully decide what's going on. But then again, I'm thinking like, oh, we can check cameras, yada 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 yada. But then I'm realizing like, hey, in this day and age, in this time, the way it's coming off of, because the way it sounds like, I'm assuming this is probably in the 20th century, which is actually back in like the 1960s to 90s, I'm assuming. So I'm assuming this is like between 1960 to 1980, between that time period. Because we have vehicles, but at the same time the jazz is in session, like. So we're gonna have to see. He led us straight into the library and he took a look for a scene. Oh my, that's definitely murder. Is that Yuri? That is 100% Yuri. I know that look anywhere. That is definitely Yuri. There's no way that's not Yuri. Murder. Sayori, please. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyways, I've seen enough. Huh? How? Don't worry. wonder what I'm gonna look like. Unless something happens to Sayori and I gotta go find Sayori. Oh my, did I just break the case of the game? I have a bad habit of predicting things, even though I don't know much about it, just by like the story plot, the way it goes, and how everything connects. I watch too much anime. Anyways, don't worry, I'll let you have your fill. Go on, take a look. Right. I approached the body. A shocker to me. She was around our age. I concluded that she was either in it for the dough, or her tastes were a bit more developed than most. But never mind all that. She wore a dress that's fancily arranged with plumes and headwear. The cause of death was very clear. A vile deep wound in the center of her chest all the way down to her heart. My. Her mouth was slightly parted, and strands of blood were escaped from it. The body was fresh and just found, even though the blood was wet enough to smear what it touched. Eyes left wide open. I couldn't seem to find hints of a struggle, unfortunately. Walking around the room, I decided to describe to Monica what I've been observing. She has already lit cigarette, as in she was enjoying herself. Care for a fag? What the fuck? I've never heard that one. It might ease your mind a bit. I'll have to say no. So obviously she died of blood loss. Oh Sherlock, tell me more. I'll take that as a compliment. I can't seem to find a weapon though, which is concerning. I'm going to make it easy for you. She killed herself out of anguish over her husband's cheating on her. I don't think we can. Oh Christ, no. I felt a cracking noise coming from under my feet on the rug. This was a lead. I uncovered the floor, a bunch of crystals scattered, looking as they hid in a rush. There's a sign of a struggle, but without paying attention, Mona and I began looking around the room. I could tell she was not happy as she began tapping her foot while smoking her cigarette. Searching through the shelves and books, I found an odd-looking case full of extravagant. Yup, this is definitely Yuri. Extravagant knives. And an ornate short sword? Yeah. Definitely Yuri. I don't know any girl in Doki Doki that likes knives like this other than Yuri. I've played quite a bit of, I'm a little experienced now in the modverse. Met quite a different people. But nobody, and I mean nobody, likes knives more than Yuri Akabane. I don't know her last name. I would just kind of do something there. Anyways, so one of these could be used for the deed. Right, but do you know what else this reveals? What? That she was also a nutcase. See? Case closed. No, not yet. It just doesn't fit. So you were listen. If they hadn't had the time to clean the base so thoroughly and put it back in place, why didn't they bother taking care of other loose ends, like the crystals on the floor? I couldn't just stand there and ponder. I had to gather evidence. I had to look for more clues, so I rushed to the room. Huh? Sayori, where are you going? I rushed past her, going straight to the dining hall. I needed to know. I started going through the cutlery and cabinets, searching for what I was hoping to find. Have you lost your mind? Just let me do this. I am not. Did you not hire me as your assistant to just stand around and type up stupid reports? Now did you? She stood silent in all my brazen, unusual act of rebellion. I returned her, searching for the multitude of cabinets until my eyes found exactly what I was looking for. A wooden knife holder with a missing blade. Look, miss. Sayori has so much positivity. I hope she doesn't get depressed or something like that. Look, miss. There is a missing blade. I knew there was something with this whole case. You have to go interrogate the servants, or I know, maybe one of the handmaids, or perhaps the butler, or what if it was the policeman? Settle down, for God's sake. Tell him. Settle down, for God's sake. This missing blade means nothing. I thought I told you she committed suicide because she was being cheated on, and the fact that she had knives to prove it and she was not a stable person. What? No, but she was a gold digger. Being cheated on would mean nothing to her. Now think, Sayuri. See, you seem to think you're smart. When she be kicked out of here, the man decided to change a woman? I mean, maybe, but this discussion is over. We're heading back to the office. What the hell is this outrageousness? How can you be so okay with this confidence that it was a suicide? Enough. No, I'm not gonna just believe that she committed suicide, even though that it's not about what you believe. People kill themselves in this cruel world. Deal with it. I'll shut your beak and follow me. You better write the report as I told you. I wouldn't know what to do in that situation, I'll be honest. If it was me, I'm sorry. I would have to call up Curly. I would have to call up me and my other me and search it and figure out what's going on. Or just tell the policeman, be like, policeman, double check that for me. I might be wrong. My frustration was unbearable. But despite everything, I still feel like an idiot. I let my curiosity and my hunger for thrill and get in the way in the end. I impeded the investigation. What first started off was anger, frustration began being turned in words. I can't believe your recklessness. How'd I know just how delusional you were? She kept finding new and interesting ways to verbally berate me on our way back to the office. I kept silent. To think I had been shot down in such a way was tearing me apart. As we reached the office, she had fallen silent as well. The tension in the air could have been cut with a knife. We exchanged looks across the office space. Her eyebrows furrowed and her lips constantly parting and closing, seemingly mumbling to herself. Every time our eyes made contact, my head would fling away. As she took her hat and made her way to the exit, she looked back at me with what I could assume only my distressed expression. Before I go say, I want to be clear. I'm not mad at you. I just want you to see the world for what it is and not for what you hoped it was. My face was already buried in paperwork. I'll leave you for the night. Okay, miss. And she turned around, heading to her apartment. Hot-headed as I would, I tried my best to relax and a bit recall everything that happened. Monica might be right, though. I might be looking at reality with too much innocence. How am I supposed to believe that 2 cases were suicide? Maybe the first girl case, but didn't have any strong leads to follow. But tonight's case, on the other hand, doesn't make any sense. We didn't even interrogate the servants or any other suspect. I muttered to myself as I got up and the turntable were lying gathering dust. Maybe I could roll some tune to ease my mood. I carefully placed a random record from the pile. Now was my time to write my letter to Curly. Perhaps now I could finally get my frustrations out of my mind. My dear, today's correspondence is dated Saturday, the 2nd of April. The last message was received from the Wednesday, the 27th of January. I'm deeply sorry, but I don't have enough spirit to write this letter like I usually do. Today was a mess of emotions and events turning around from exciting, intriguing, to disheartening and disappointing. Today, Monica took me to my second case. That sounds like great news, right? And it really was good for a while. There was a high-class lady who had been murdered inside her mansion. No, I feel kind of bad for her too. We had early leads. It was looking like to be one of a complicated murder mysteries in the book we used to read. Needless to say, I was ecstatic. Miss Monica even let me do my own investigation. It had me hooked to the corpse and had an enormous stab wound all around her heart, but there was no weapon in sight, so my mind was racing and I started looking around for more clues until I found a missing knife in the kitchen. We obviously had to start asking servants, but guess what? Monica said it was a suicide. Barely an effort put to the investigation looking for clues. Just a declaration. I'm about to lose my mind. Just imagine. It's just like this I just like times like this where I wish I had you by my side. You always know how to make me feel better, honestly. I need a hug and someone to tell me that I wasn't completely wrong for thinking the way I do. Sometimes I wish we were kids again. You know, when we never far apart. But now, I haven't heard from you in a while. I never got your letters back. It feels like you left me. I hope you haven't. Please respond soon. I need to hear from you. Always yours, Sayori. What's going on? Poor Sayori. In my head, I low-key was thinking I was gonna get jump scared. I'm so mentally prepared. Right at the last line, I couldn't hold my tears back. Like a small drizzle, a couple of droplets streaked the paper. I'd rewrite someone again, but I was just too tired. I laid on the couch crying until I dozed off. Monica was reading the paper while I wrote yesterday's case report. Without taking her eyes off the paper, she put a platter on the player. As for my typing, I was nearly done. Just a couple more lines. That's a good question. Maybe the police? It's finished, miss. Marvelous. Leave it here on the desk and I'll send it to you by mail. Talking about mail, I was wondering. The answer is no, I didn't get any mail for you. She didn't even look at me to tell that. What? You know what? This is bullshit, Monica. Where are my letters? It's been too long. Oh, darn, let me guess. Are you waiting for that guy to reply? Yes! It's not like him to take this long to send a letter back. I should forget about him. Who knows? Maybe he already found some other broad. Her comment struck me like a hammer. What if she was right? What if he had someone else? And had simply forgotten about me? I refuse to believe it. Curly would never. Look at you all in shambles for some Joe. I'm not. Sure thing, dear. Monica, give me my... Just a moment. She turned to answer the call. Even though I was being rude and screaming at her, she wouldn't even react. She kept her cool and now was lighting another cigarette while speaking through the tube like nothing happened. Alright, that was easy. Huh? Don't we have a new case? I understand if you don't want me to take along. No, it's just that I just don't need to go to the scene. The police already went through it. What was it about? Oh, some report of some foul stench coming from an apartment residential building downtown. Police went through it, blah blah blah, told me it was a suicide, so not bothering with this one. Are you just gonna follow what those lazy brutes tell you? Why would they call you if they already knew the answer? I am not going to stand idly and file this case without even looking at the scene. Hey, relax, Sayori. Don't tell me to relax, Monica. Here, take a puff. It's gonna make you feel calmer. She held the cigarette up to me half smoked. Out of spite, I snatched it from her hand and placed it in my mouth and took a long breath. My lungs filled with the burning smoke, making me cough violently as I choked, and threw the rest of the lit cigarette on the floor. How the hell was that supposed to calm me down? That's it. I'm going to this scene just like an investigator should. I'm going to prove you all wrong. She didn't try to even stop me as I grabbed my notepad and left. This time I walked alone downtown, was not too far away. The nerve of that woman trying to close the case without even taking a look. Outrageous. But I had this fire burning inside me, the determination to show myself for my worth. Despite everything, I was unstoppable. Right before I thought about asking the passersby, I found an apartment building with 2 coppers guarding the door. Aces. If I had to bet, this might be a place, and if not, I could always ask nicely. I approached the officers and they turned to face me. Evening, kitten. Need some help? Hello, officers. I'm hoping not interrupting, but I believe there's an investigation going on, right? Perhaps. Who's asking? Oh, I'm Inspector Sayori. I was called to the survey scene and to write down a report. Alright, later, but you see, I'll be in for a couple hours with this putrid smell coming out. How about a reward? I'm sorry, but I stumbled my words. I reconsider how to properly handle the situation. Keep dreaming, officer. I stepped inside. I feel like if this is New York, and if this is New York, that means that Sayori must be overseas. Well, Monica and me is probably back in Japan still, unless I'm in the States too. I don't know. Because I can't. There's no way that this is in Japan. There's just no way. As Japan like drawing, but there's no way, bruh. It feels like this is in America. It has to be. I'm not sure people know, but in America, bro, we have some problems. We have some bad problems. Do I want to get into a political conversation? No, but we do have some problems. I suddenly felt a hot gripping my bottom. Oh my. Whoa, don't get angry, dollface. It doesn't make you look pretty. Those filthy bastards. I was bored with rage. Oh, she's mad now. Watch out. I really wanted to slap the man's out of the whole body, but clenching my fist and gritting my teeth, I turned around heading towards the scene. I really didn't need that moment. Why couldn't I handle myself like Monica does? Their laughter faded as I moved inside the building. To keep their bitter thoughts away, I tried to focus on the case. The stench was really strong, trying to find out the door was not hard at all. I took my notepad up and looked at the doorknob. Taking a quick breath, I prepared myself. I'm ready. Determined to open the door. Nigga, what? I told you. The fuck was that? The fuck did I just witness? You're telling me I just see a dead Sayori and I'm Sayori. I'm like, the fuck is with Sayoris? It wasn't even scary, just more unnerving, more feeling. It just made me feel like I had to check. I had to look behind me just in case, because that music was intense. Anyways, I suddenly wake up and soaked in sweat. That was... What was that? My hands are shaking. Monica. I'm supposed to do the thing with the festival for her. What was the thing again? The pamphlets. Maybe I can ask her to come help. Oh wait, he's busy. He's busy spending the day with her. He'll probably have fun, right? More fun than with me. I guess it's better that way then. Better he enjoy himself than be saddled with me. This is awful. I cover under my sheets. After a while, I hear a faint knock on my door. Is that... I don't want this. Not now. I just want to be alone. Don't tell me that was it. Bro, there's no way that was it, bro. That shit was getting so good. Bro. That was so good. That was legit. Like, that was so short. There's no way that's the full release. There can't be. I might. What if I just load the... Like, is it still gonna... Yeah. Dang. That sucks. This was so good. Pardon me. Man, I really wanted to do more. I'm not gonna lie. Nor. Dreams of Literature. I really enjoyed that. Wow. It's already been 48 minutes? It's actually crazy. Well, I guess... Yeah, Dreams of Literature. Yeah, once I realized it was dreaming, bro, it all made sense. But I guess maybe that's just how the game moves on from forward, like going on. Well, looks like that's that for now. Man, what a cliffhanger. I wanted so much more from that. If you know who the person that did this, let them know that they actually are amazing and they should really continue on. Anybody that wants to like ever make a mod from a game, bro, is so like you have your own vision of like after being inspired of seeing something. I think it's so crazy because I've never like game coded or anything like that, so this is like really new, like seeing like different versions of the same game. I never really played modded games like that before. I mean, I have, but like it's very rare. This has been a blast. But since that's that for now, I guess I'm gonna call that a stream, and I'll come back tomorrow with some Five Nights at Freddy's, and until I finish it. Yes, send me the next mod. Well, I guess that's it for now, guys. Sorry for such a short stream. This was a blast. Anyways, I'm gonna go head out, and I guess I'm gonna start getting things for tomorrow. It just felt like it's only 50 minutes. And honestly, I'm so used to streaming for like 4 hours when I play Doki. Like, oh man, It was crazy. But you know what? It's fine. We got a lot more games that we're gonna play. Hopefully I can get my capture card so I can actually stream and be here. Yeah, same here. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I'll play more mods with this guy makes for sure. Well, thank you guys for checking out the stream, and anybody that checks out the rerunner videos, thank you for checking them out. If you can, follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, see ya. Love y'all. Curly top.